Three, two, talk. Welcome back to Fortem Talk. I'm here with Josh and Aiden at CrossFit Fortem. We train for life, and we're excited today to talk about some fitness and some happenings at CrossFit Fortem, and just connect with you guys a little bit through the Fortem Talk podcast. How's it going, guys?
Good.
It's going good. It's super hot at the gym right now. So hot.
We
I
are.
had to switch my t-shirt. I started sweating.
Yeah. we were just judging or helping Deja through his online semifinals. Deja made top 2,000 in the world out of quarterfinals in the open division. So
That's huge.
individual division, yeah. So he's
Good job, Deja.
He did two yesterday. And he did the one this morning with rope climbs and
Hang power cleans.
hang power cleans.
Nice.
Yeah, it was 18 down to 3, decreasing by 3 on the hang power cleans, 135, and then one up to 6 on rope climbs.
That's rad.
He did good. But yeah, it is hot at the gym. So I think 75 at 7 a.m.
Summer is about to come on strong for sure.
Gotta get the swamp cooler, shooting some cold air.
Definitely. Yeah. What other things do we have coming up this summer? I think we can tease this out a little bit, Josh. We are going to be introducing some High Rocks programming to CrossFit Fortem. So keep an eye out for that. We'll have a official announcement soon, but High Rocks is something that a ton of people are into. It's a cool way to test specifically your endurance ability, but using movements and styles of workouts that we do all the time in CrossFit. So we're excited to see what that looks like at CrossFit Fortem.
Definitely a style of training that is like what we do. Aiden has thoughts on this one.
No, I don't.
I love a good High Rocks. Aiden, you've done a High Rocks before.
I've done one, yeah.
You've
But
done a High Rocks race.
Yeah, like this was before it was popular though.
You were on the ground level of it.
I was on like when Hunter was like an elite dude in the. I'm not sure if he's still elite here, but did it back in the day in Pasadena with no running training. I was like, I don't need to run. I do CrossFit. I freaking died.
It's a ton of running. It's 10K of running, right?
8K.
8K. Yeah.
8K. Okay. Dang, that's cool. I didn't know that you'd done that before. So that's what year was that? 2019, something like that?
No, it was like 2021 or two. Either one of those years, 2021 or 22.
Okay. And you just saw that starting to go out there and just signed up for it and gave it a go?
No, I saw it on Instagram. I told Carol, "Oh, this is so easy, dude. I don't even need to train for this." And then Carol said, "Bet, do it." And I ended up doing it and got cooked.
I mean,
Okay.
8K, that's like what, almost 5 miles ish?
Yeah, you're like in that 4 mile range, yeah.
Yeah, 4.
10. Yeah.
Wow.
Is it the same exact race today as it was then? Did they change it at all?
No, they haven't changed anything yet.
Okay.
The weights or anything either?
There's divisions. So there's
Right.
elite division you can sign up for, and then there's just like the regular, I guess, open division, I guess you want to call it.
Right.
I was about to say RX, but I don't think they do that.
Nice.
I know some members at the gym have done it. I know Angelica and Janie have done one.
And there's a big one coming up in Anaheim in
Yeah.
December, right?
And I
Yes.
think a bunch of guys are signed up for that. They're doing doubles. Ruben, Tom,
Yeah, no, yeah, Ruben, Tommy. I know Josh is going to go
Jason.
individual.
Josh,
Jason.
maybe Ryan.
I think Janie and her husband are going to do it again.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
turnout there.
Well-
I think our thinking is at least starting off with one, like we'll put this out, but starting with a Saturday and then maybe doing like a weekly night class of a High Rocks workout for people who want to specifically work on that thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not much different than what we do, but can be, you know, honed in on running and the movements that you need to do. So it can really help you on race day.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll be getting more info out there soon for that, but stay tuned. Cool happenings.
Yep.
All right, guys, we should talk about today's topic, which is world-class fitness in 100 words. So this is a original concept in CrossFit to say not only we're going to define what fitness is, which is work capacity across broad time and modal domains, but we're going to give a really concise, elegant way to say, do these things and you will increase your fitness as defined by CrossFit, and get it to a world-class level. So really cool concept here, and just something that anyone that does CrossFit should understand, should know, and honestly be able to recite parts of this, because it's beautifully said. So I'm going to start by reading the whole thing, and then we'll just break it down sentence by sentence here. So world-class fitness in 100 words. Eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. Keep intake to levels that will support exercise but not body fat. Practice and train major lifts, deadlift, clean, squat, presses, clean and jerk, and snatch. Similarly, master the basics of gymnastics. Pull-ups, dips, rope climb, push-ups, sit-ups, presses the handstand, pirouettes, flips, splits, and holds. Bike, run, swim, row, etc., hard and fast. 5 or 6 days per week, mix these elements in as many combinations and patterns as creativity will allow. Routine is the enemy. Keep workouts short and intense. Regularly learn and play new sports. Amazing. So what we're saying here is all of these things together, if you touch on them, if you incorporate them into your approach to fitness, your work capacity across broad time and modal domains will increase. That's a pretty amazing thing, right? It's all of what we just read through is very simple. We can say like world-class fitness in 100 words is doing this proprietary movement and this secret training split and X, Y, and Z. It's so simple and doable. That's probably one of my favorite things about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Our plan is there's this original article by Greg Glassman in the CrossFit Journal, and that this is from there. And just I was reading it this morning again, and he said Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary defines fitness and being fit as the ability to transmit genes and being healthy. And he's like, no help there. So that's why he wrote this, and I think it's very, like you said, very insightful on what we do, because you get a lot of people that come in the gym, and I know you know this. They come in, they think they're doing fitness, and they are doing fitness in some sort of way, but we just think that there's a better way to do it, and you can get a lot of results and progress by coming to CrossFit Fortem and doing what we do like this.
Yeah. I think kind of a cool thing to think about is what we're saying is this is world-class fitness, meaning like you might be able to have like some basic level of fitness where you're missing some major things, like there's gaps in your fitness or weaknesses that are just kind of glaring. But we're saying with this that world-class fitness can be achieved, meaning super well-rounded, really applicable to your day-to-day life, and will increase your health and the capacity that your body can achieve. So let's go into this first point here. So eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. Keep intake to levels that will support exercise but not body fat. Amazing that this starts off with nutrition. Like, we're talking about world-class fitness, and it doesn't first say work out in this way or do these movements or train this way, it first addresses what you put in your body. That's so huge. Thoughts on that? What do you guys think about this?
This is so off topic. Well, this is on topic, but so off topic. Does the fitness in 100 words show the CrossFit pyramid? Like, does it like exactly line up like nutrition, metabolic conditioning,
That's a great
uh,
question.
Let me see.
weightlifting, throwing, sport?
So it goes nutrition, then
It
it
actually
goes.
does.
Yeah, it does.
It does.
Oh, it's crazy. That's crazy.
Weightlifting and gymnastics in like the sequence of the wording might be flipped, but nutrition is still at the base of the pyramid, and sport is at the tip. So it does kind of reflect that pretty closely.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys work with people, and you have worked with people in the gym. You get new nutrition clients, and you see that when people put work into doing this, right, they see results. A lot of people have
100%.
the working out down, but not the nutrition. And I think you guys see, and we've seen big time results, even in the last year with people that, one, have lost body fat, gained muscle, and even have gotten better blood labs from honing in their nutrition.
Yeah. One thing that's interesting here is, I've heard some people criticize this, the way that this is worded. So we say some fruit, little starch, and no sugar. People that try and like troll this wording will say like, oh, there's sugar in fruit, or your body converts starches to sugars. That's not what we're saying. We're saying when we say no sugar, we're talking about like crumble cookie sugar.
Yeah.
I looked this up because I was curious. What do you guys think is the range of grams of sugar in a single crumble cookie?
Oh, dude, this is like easy. This is like 72.
There's one that is over 70. Yeah, 73 grams of sugar in a
That's actually crazy.
blue raspberry sports drink cookie.
Wow.
Do you know that when you have crumble though, like the nutrition fact is like a fourth of a cookie, which is
That's
insane.
insane.
That's
Yeah.
absolutely,
Super
yeah, so
insane.
times four.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some of these are like 800 calories, like 860 for this
Yeah.
one, and all of them are over 50 grams of sugar, up to like 70 plus. So when we're talking about like no sugar, what we're saying is like drawing a hard line that like the ultra processed foods that have just sugar dumped in there, like highly refined cane sugar or corn syrup or all of those kind of like Frankenstein sugar, com- like uh, components or whatever you might want to call them,
Yeah.
staying away from that. Like real food and carbohydrate sources that are from things with one ingredient
Yeah.
are great for you, should be a core piece of your nutrition.
Right. Yeah. I think you can boil it down to just eat whole foods. Right. Get your protein, get your carbs, get good fat, good carbs, good fat. And that will support you. And then there's a question of, performance, aesthetic. What's your goal, right? You guys work with people. What is your goal? Some people want to perform better. Some people want to look better, whatever it may be. There's different ways to go about nutrition. Obviously, in his article, he talks, the first one, basic one, we talked about this before, is the zone. But since then, counting macros, even just loose macros, whatever it may be, all works, but it all boils down to the point of just make sure you know what you're eating and eating enough of it. I think that's something that you guys work with people, like educating them on how much they need to be eating. And I think that, yeah, it's super important for everyone to do this.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but my experience of really staying with a nutrition approach that is simpler is super helpful for this. So like when it just says eat meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, and no sugar, like, and keep intake levels intake to levels that will support exercise, not body fat. Like that's not ultra specific, right? It's
Yeah.
very basic, and it's kind of like if you were to say like I'm gonna not really take any other nutrition framework or approach and just kind of follow this and try and be kind of intuitive about it. If you're actually sticking to these kinds of foods, like you have so much more flexibility than you might think. Like you will see results with a day where you eat a lot more because you had a higher activity and your body just feels like it needs it, but you're still eating meat and vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruit, little starch, no sugar. And maybe days where like you're not as moving around as much, you eat a little lighter. There can be a little bit more like kind of flux, and your each day doesn't have to be like so locked in and consistent, or like precisely measured and tracked. And
Mm-hmm.
you will see like incredible results with this. It makes sense for a lot of people when you try and incorporate more like modern foods or more complex things in your diet, where you kind of have to really put some systems in place to track your intake. But that, I don't know. What do you guys think? That's my experience with this kind of approach to nutrition.
Yeah, Aiden, you shared a day of your eating the other day.
I did. Um, I don't even remember what I ate that day.
Oatmeal,
Oh, oatmeal, apple, yogurt, protein shake, fruit,
sourdough
eggs,
bread.
sourdough bread, chicken, cheese, things like that. Peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, you
but
can't have that.
but that's hard. People get skewed in CrossFit, I think, and like I'm trying to chase like performance. So like I want to always feel good. I always want to PR lift or lift a weight that's relatively heavy, right? And could you do that with not eating PB and J's? For sure you can, but I would say doing the amount of volume that me and Josh do is probably not healthy in the sense of like, hey, if I really want to just focus on the fitness of 100 words, if I do one workout a day, yeah, I don't need a PB and J. You know, I could cut that out and I can just eat the apple and the banana and then the eggs and be perfectly fine. But if you need to chase performance or you want to chase performance, that's one of those you get a little bit of leeway because you need to recover a little bit more. So don't listen to my day of eating. That's not 100% CrossFit.
Well, yeah, well, that's a good point, right? That is a good point. When your volume's up, yeah, obviously you got to eat more, and that comes to a point of like, well, yeah, what are you going to, you know, with that list there, what are you gonna sacrifice or, you know, in the best way possible? But when you're working with someone, like when we work with people at the gym, most of them are doing one workout a day, and we'll get to this later, but 3 to 4 to 5 times a week. I think the best thing that you can steer them towards is this kind of eating, right? This whole foods,
Yeah.
get rid of processed foods. Try not to have sugar. If you have a lot of sugar, start cutting it out little by little, and you will see a big difference. I think that sugar one's huge because you don't realize what sugar does to your body. Inflammation, like we've seen people just completely change when they get rid of sugar, at least even a little bit. Everything starts feeling better. So nutrition is important, and we want everyone to know about it.
This will be
Yeah.
like this will be like probably feel like an attack on a lot of people, probably what I'm about to say. But like if you come to the gym and you've been in there for like a year or two and you haven't seen anything going on within your body, you know you have a nutrition problem. And
Hmm.
like like obviously it's hard to change. It's a lot of factors in there, emotional things, stress. Um, you want to go out with friends and things like that. But if you want to just like see the biggest results in CrossFit is just change that one aspect. Like even like your pre and post meal, you know, just like focus on like one thing and most people will probably see better workouts because they have more carbohydrates before their their gym session. And then secondly, they'll have better recovery because a lot of times people I've spoken to maybe like 6 or 7 people and they'll be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna go to work. And they don't eat anything post workout. And it's like, well, dude, like your cortisol's up, you know, your blood sugar's dropping, you
Mm-hmm.
start to panic. and now you're reaching for the first thing that's available, which is might be like a processed sugar thing. And then now you forgot to eat and it's 6 hours later and it just keeps spiraling down. And if they could just change their pre and post workout nutrition, I think they'll probably see a lot more benefit in their CrossFit,
Oh
you know?
man, I can't agree with that more, because you'll talk to someone, um, hey, did you eat anything for the workout? No, I haven't eaten since one. It's like, yeah, your workout's not going to go well. Like, you're not going to be
Hmm.
feeling good. So yeah, I think this turned into a nutrition podcast now, but I think it's super important, because it is like, I feel like we do really well. We have it down of, hey, you show up to the gym, we're going to get you through workouts. And what we're about to talk about is, we do those things. We lift,
Yeah.
we do gymnastics, we do, but like Aiden just said, I think if you really want to see change, and I'm not sure if people do their blood work, but I think it would be a very good thing to get blood work done and see, hey, how actually am I healthy? And this is another podcast episode, I think, is the health and wellness continuum, which we will do coming up. We can dive
Oh,
into
yeah.
that more.
That's one of my favorite things to talk about. But if you felt attacked by what Aiden said, you need to just turn it on its head and be like, I have this completely untapped source of results by just working on my nutrition. So just look at it from a positive spin. Okay.
Yep.
And I would also say one last thing on nutrition, that if you have never worked with someone on your nutrition, like it should be a rite of passage in your fitness journey that at some point for some amount of time that's appropriate for where you're at, get some help, because everyone needs it.
And it'll change your life.
One more,
100%.
one last thing on that too. Working with a nutrition coach sometimes isn't about the X's and O's of like, oh hey, eat this and that. A lot of times people just need that emotional support. Like, hey, like they're
Hmm.
crashing out. Like, hey, can I go have Chipotle instead? And it's like, no, dude, like go eat your potatoes and your steak. You're fine. Like, go try a little bit harder and you're going to see those results, so like sometimes if you need to work with a coach, it's a lot about emotional and like support through just like your day-to-day life. So if you need somebody, just reach out, man.
Yep.
Love it. All right, let's move along in this world class fitness. In 100 words, practice and train major lifts: deadlift, clean, squat, presses, clean and jerk, and snatch. Let's talk about the weightlifting before we talk about gymnastics and body weight. What are you guys' thoughts on this portion?
Get a lot of people come in, it's like, oh, I don't want to use the barbell, right? I want to do CrossFit, but I don't want to use the barbell. You compare the different, Orange Theory, F45. I think they're actually starting to use some sort of barbell now, but High Rocks, those types of things. Like, I think that's the biggest separator, is they all kind of have some sort of weightlifting, but I think the way we do it and how we throw it in is superior. And I think it's so super important for everybody to lift weights. I think that a lot of people think weight loss and, getting fitter is all about endurance, long workouts, long, 40-minute runs, which are great, running triathlons, all that kind of things. But if you aren't strong, if you can't pick something up, if you can't use your body in a way that is connected with your brain, which a barbell helps do, I think you got to reevaluate. And I think everyone that is at Fortem can attest to strength training is super important. Using the barbell, using dumbbells, whatever it may be, but you got to lift weights.
Yeah, the barbell in particular is unique in that in some way that you're capable of, you can maximally load it. And that's always going to be just like a driver of strength adaptation, is getting to a point where like you're deadlifting or squatting the most that you possibly can at one point in time, and you get to that point of like, this is a max for me, and your body's going to respond to that. Difficult to do that with a pair of 12-pound dumbbells. Like you have to get under load. And that's going to be beneficial in like developing raw power with power lifts, and then explosiveness and athleticism and accuracy with the clean and jerk and the snatch. They're just incredible tools for training.
I have a lot to say on this. Think of it like when people like don't want to lift weights and they're going through like Orange Theory or F45 or Barry's Boot Camp. Like, think of it in like the sense of like, how am I going to promote like enough loading on my system with dumbbells that's going to help like fight like osteoporosis. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like if I'm only loading myself with 50 pounds, my body's gonna eventually adapt to those 50 pounds, right? And eventually my hormones and all these things secreted into my body aren't going to produce like new bone minerals or anything like that. And then eventually it's going to come for me, osteoporosis and stuff like that. So I'd say for people that just despise barbells or despise lifting weights, like, hey, think of it in like the health realm. Like when you're old, do you want to have fragile bones? No, then you have to
Yeah.
lift weights.
Yeah,
You
and that's exactly right. Is like people can get super fit just running. Right, you can get super fit. You can be cardiovascular, very, very well off. But like you said, as you get older, you can't pick anything up. Like your muscle, if you don't use your muscles, if you don't build body mass as you get older, we are deteriorating
Mhm.
every day. So you have to build a hedge against that, and you need to lift weights. You need to build body mass as you get older, because you're going to be way better off if you did that.
I mean, what CrossFit has done for the entire fitness space is bring this up and shine light on it, because even top level endurance runners all know, it's like common knowledge across the board now that doing some amount of strength training is key. Like, yes, if your body can hold up to the just pounding of miles and miles and miles of running, you can build up a solid base of cardio fitness, right? With obviously some major holes in other areas, but they know now that like you do some strength training and like your body can handle more. Your joints are more resilient. You can rack up more miles and train more for what you love if you love running. So yeah, this CrossFit has really done an incredible job at exposing people to the importance of this.
Yeah, people love. I feel like the clean and jerk people love. Snatch, not so much. From what I see, coaching. But the question does come. Well, why do even people outside of why would I need to even do Olympic weightlifting? Like that's for Olympics. Like that's an Olympic sport, which actually is really cool when you think about it. The perspective that just ordinary people can learn a snatch and learn it well and go through the steps of doing it, and actually just ordinary people can actually lift a lot amount of weight safely in a snatch and a clean and jerk, which is absolutely incredible, which just makes you strong, coordinated, right? You said accuracy, all this, practicing those things is even good for your brain, right? I can't even say it. Your how do you say that?
Neurological.
Neurology.
Neurologically. But like it's just, and mentally, I've seen people that can't lift a weight, they practice it, and then they can. Like that has to be good for something in your life. Like, just mental strength, and just practicing something and getting better at it. Like that transfers perfectly to life.
For sure. Okay, the next piece here is similarly master the basics of gymnastics. Pull-ups, dips, rope climb, push-ups, sit-ups, presses to handstand, pirouettes, flips, splits, and holds. This is a big one, and I think one that people don't push themselves on as much as they do with the lifts. Like once you get someone over the hurdle of like lifting heavy, most people will kind of like warm up to it, and they'll challenge themselves with how much they try and lift, or PRs they shoot for, and all of that. That's great. A lot of people with gymnastics, maybe I'm not really sure why this is. It's just maybe less confidence in their movement, or it is tough if you're like struggling with coordination, or like you're whatever body weight you're at, it's difficult to move in certain ways, and you need to make progress there. But people just kind of get stuck with whatever level of gymnastics that they're capable of, and they don't try and really gain more skill and more ability to control their body. And I think this is one people should focus on a little bit more.
We talk about this all the time, me and Aiden. I think it's a daily conversation of one, when we do have a skill piece in class, yeah, it's kind of hit or miss, like what you just said. You have a lot of different variety of skill levels in class, so kind of just rethinking of how we do those things and scales and appropriate things for everybody. But yeah, I think there's a lot of just focus on the workout. Right? I got to get a good workout and I'm out of here, which is great. We want you to get a good workout, but there's a part of fitness that if you never work on your skills, you never get stronger in these types of things. Like the other day, me, Aiden, and Joyce, it was Aiden's idea, the inverted burpee, right? So you lay back, you come up into a squat, and then you press the handstand. Like those types of things, doing that, after doing it, I was like, man, that was one, really fun. Two, such a good thing to just test yourself with, right? I think Aiden, today we should do flip. I do flip today.
A flip, like a
Yeah, it says it in there, flip.
like a
Right there.
backflip.
Yeah, press the handstand, pirouettes, flips, splits and
My
holds.
guy, I need crash. I need crash pads.
Yeah. No, but I just think it's super important, right? Even if it's a pull up, if it's even holds, the top of the ring dip hold, top bottom of the ring dip hold, any of those types of things, we should probably be better at throwing those things in and incorporating those things. But that's another conversation of that we have is what's the best way to do that? Like,
I think I'm a proponent for more unconventional workouts thrown in the mix. Like, have you guys ever done margarita?
we were just talking about
No,
the
I
other
think
day.
Josh talked about that. Yeah, yeah.
That's a great workout.
What
50
what is
rounds,
it?
50 rounds for time. One burpee, one push up, one jumping jack, one sit up, one handstand. It feels at first when you start that workout like you're the most uncoordinated human in the world. Like you're just throwing your body around for each rep. Like it's just kind of wild. But then you'll like find this kind of rhythm of going from like trying to make it fluid from one movement to the next. I think
Dude,
it's a great benchmark and
I have a
test for just
great
coordination.
idea. I have a great idea.
Did
That should be an event. That should be a community event.
I like that.
didn't Sentinel
We're
just
all
do
going to
that?
do margarita.
Didn't just Taylor just do that on Sentinel's YouTube page?
Yes. Yes, he did.
He
Yep.
did, right? Okay.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So it's one burpee, one push up, one
One
jumping
burpee, one
jack.
push up. Yep. A
One
sit
What
handstand.
up
else? One sit up.
Handstand.
Here's
One sit up.
ab mat.
just
What
on the
would be
ground.
considered the
Yeah.
what would be considered the handstand standard though? Like I
Trying
can
to
just
get
like
into
naturally kick up.
vertical.
That's it.
So it's
Yeah.
freestanding.
Yeah, it's just freestanding space. Yeah.
So a scale could be to the wall.
The scale could be to the wall. Yeah. Or
I have to look.
even like putting your feet on a box and just getting to extension with your arms or something.
Right. Huh. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
Practice your skills, people. Don't be afraid of it. Don't think it's boring. Reframe your
I think the
mindset.
reason I think the reason why people are so reluctant to skills and gymnastics is because they know the amount of work that needs to be done to get to those skills that they need to do, right? And a lot of them get just bottlenecked by, hey, if I want to learn the kicking pull up, I have to get the strict pull up first. If I want to get this ring muscle up, I have to get strict pull up, a strict ring dip, and so on, right? So I think a lot of people like they get discouraged and kind of like, I'm not even going to try anymore because that goal that I used to have is so far away from me that by the time I get there, I'm going to be so old, right? But like the thing that I think they forget is a lot of times when you're going through the journey, it's like you're learning little things that apply to the barbell or apply to something else. Like it's just like you're learning like little um, ways how to move your body through space. You're learning like new neural pathways that like you can now put like, oh, I learned how to move my core in this one weird way, and now it helps your set up for the deadlift or whatever, right? Um,
Yes.
it just I think people just get discouraged, and I think they lost the funness about CrossFit, that it should be hard, right? And it also, if you don't try these things, you're never going to achieve those things. And there's always things that you can regress skills and progress skills. But I don't know. I wish people at least at Fordham would be more open to trying more gymnastics. And like after that inverted burpee, a lot of people did try it and they started having fun and laughing. But I wish it was more towards like the higher skill stuff. Like, hey, I want to get pull ups so I can get to this next skill. And like they don't treat it as like oh, I'll just chill for 15 minutes in class, you know?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, no. That's our encouragement with this one. Advance yourself with your gymnastics. Chase them. Chase them.
Yeah.
All right. Last piece of the kind of fitness and movement section of this is bike, run, swim, row, etc. Hard and fast. Yeah, sprinting. This is a major key. This doesn't just mean like go out and go super long and slow. Like there's a time and place for that. That's good. But man, there's so much good evidence that like maintaining the ability to sprint like deep into your life is like hugely beneficial. Like if you think what's happening with your body when you are doing a run sprint, like think about the like crazy sequence of movement that like your hips and hamstrings and quads and ankles and calves are all doing, and even your core when you're like really going for a full on sprint. And like that is so beneficial for just longevity and going deep into life with the ability to stay moving. And doing these different methods of monostructural work with biking, swimming, rowing, all have amazing benefits. So yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah, I just see well-roundedness there, right? Different things that you can be doing for that type of, fitness or monostructural. I want a bike so bad. I really want to buy a bike. I think that would be really fun. I used to ride my bike all the time when I was little. Like I would go on like very long drives because I thought it would make my calves bigger. So yeah, I just would ride my bike. Like we had gravel roads. So like in Iowa, everything is split into an acre, so a mile by a mile. So I would know exactly how many miles I would just go out of town and then go up on the gravel roads and way back and then all the way back. But I used to ride my bike so much. I want to get back to that. Have you ever seen videos of like 100-year-old guy or, like up in the 90s, they're sprinters? You ever see that? Like they're doing a 100-meter dash and how incredible that is?
Yeah.
Like I've seen a couple and they're like, oh, look at this 92-year-old who's sprint. He goes fast or she goes fast. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly like the goal, right? Do things hard and fast, and that will really keep you, on top of everything that you need to be fitness-wise as you get older.
Nobody wants to swim though. I don't know why. Everybody's scared of it.
Josh D swims.
He just swims.
Deja swims.
Yeah. I only swim when I have to swim in an event.
Yeah, we almost died.
Yeah, NorCal. But it's all right.
Yeah, back. I tried to keep up with Nick one time when we first made to the CrossFit Games in 2015, and we went to I think Laguna Beach, and Nick we were like, we're gonna swim out to that buoy and back. And Nick is a water polo athlete and just took off. And I was like, I'm gonna do this. Good thing Jonathan Kinnick was on a boogie board because I think I would have went under. It was not good. But since then, I have swam a little bit. I've gotten a little bit better at it. But yeah, it's so good for you.
It is, man. I love it. It's so fun. All right, here we go. 5 or 6 days per week. Mix these elements in as many combinations and patterns as creativity will allow. Routine is the enemy. Keep workouts short and intense. The frequency of training jumps out here for sure. A lot of people will see that and be like, oh, it's way too much, or that's not sustainable, or whatever. But if you remember that good CrossFit programming isn't like every day is a Fran and every day isn't maxing a lift, you'll see how that's very achievable. And also self-regulating and knowing like what days your body is ready and prepared and recovered enough to really go at a workout, and what days you need to just kind of pull back and focus on some other element of your fitness as far as like skill development or form and all of that. When you combine all those things, you see that 5 or 6 days a week is good, and you should be moving this much in your life. Like you shouldn't be like, I'm sedentary for 4 days out of 7, and then my only movement on those other 3 is 1 hour in the gym. Like that's not a recipe for long-term fitness and health and longevity.
Yep. Exactly what you just said. I think we get into this, oh, I do 3 times a week, or, I only want to do it once or twice. It's like, you gotta be moving. You think about your time in the gym. It's great. You get good workouts. You should be there 4 to 5 times a week. But then also, what do you do outside the gym as well? Like, movement is medicine, and it is so good for you. And the more you can move, the better off you're going to be overall, fitness-wise and health-wise.
The good thing about being a member at CrossFit Fortem is you don't have to think about this part right here where it's mixed elements in as many combinations and patterns as creativity will allow, keeping routine the enemy. That's going to be just taken care of. You don't have to worry about thinking through that. You just show up at the gym. That's a huge benefit of just being a member at Fortem.
Yeah, I think Aiden and I always look at the programming the week before, and I think we're very intentional of, okay, is this too much this week? Because we get it through Mayhem. So it is Mayhem Shell, but we do change some things, as people probably know. Probably not to their liking, but I think that if you understand our heart behind why we change something, this is exactly it, right? We look at the week and we know who we're working with. We know our members really well, and we know how much they can take and how much we want to push or whatever it may be. And we try to curate a week that is going to do exactly this, help you live long, healthy lives.
Love that.
Dude, the changing of the programming for the week is wild to me, because we're looking out for their best interests and they get upset at us. It's like, what the hell, dude? I wanted to die there. And I'm like, dude, you can't even walk okay right now into the gym, So that's the funny part when I'm like, I did this for your benefit. And they're like, I want to die. And I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, and I understand that. I understand that to a point, because I was there once. Like, I just wanted to kill myself every day, like just beat myself to a pulp. But I think
You mean like last week or what?
yeah, I guess, yeah. But I think that there's wisdom in now, just trust us. Trust us that we have your best interests in mind. Yes, sometimes a workout looks fun, or, you want to do 5 rounds instead of 3. But we're looking at the whole picture of a whole week and trying to make it the best that we can for you guys. And I think not all gyms do that. So it's a good thing.
Definitely. All right, closing it out. Regularly learn and play new sports. This one, so good. I think this one is kind of a logical follow-up to 5 or 6 days per week. Like, routine is the enemy. Like, this is just like a very organic way to just move more and to enjoy the fitness that you can build up. If you're training this way, like have fun with it. Like feel the benefits of a body that's capable, that can do whatever you ask of it. And it doesn't necessarily need to be like you play pickup basketball. Like it could just be like you are just moving around doing something that's not in the gym. Like it's not a barbell. It's not a rower. Like you just do something that's kind of outside of your usual routine. Super beneficial. For me, something in more recent years that I've really enjoyed is just being able to do like almost like manual labor stuff. Like it's really nice to just feel like if I'm doing a project at the house or something, just moving stuff around or having to cut up some roots or something. Like there's just like my body can just do that. It's not, I don't have to like feel so destroyed from just doing some like kind of manual labor type thing that needed to get done. I think that's why I love like helping people move. Like it's like almost like this kind of mini workout that you get to have that's, helping someone as well. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd also say that the playing sports is also beneficial for them since in CrossFit we're all sagittal plane, meaning we just move up and down,
Mm,
squats, thrusters, clean and jerk snatches, everything's up and down. And we
yeah.
never get like frontal plane stuff. We never get transverse plane. And then that one day that you're doing a shuttle run and you hurt your ankle or you hurt your knee, it's probably because we haven't done that enough or you haven't done that enough outside of the gym, right? So that's where I think sports come into play is like, hey, you get to move your body differently, and those little things actually benefit you more in your life, even just like doing like manual labor, like how you mentioned, because you're gonna have to put yourself into weird positions for random projects in the house too. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
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 What I see here is I see the element of just using your fitness. Like spend time in the gym and you build this fitness, go use it. Right? Sports is a great expression of that. Even if you aren't good at it, like go throw a frisbee around, go throw a ball around, come to the next Fortem Park night. We'll shoot some basketball 33. Even if you're not good at it, just throw it up there. Try to make it, right? Like different kind of skills that you can just practice, and throwing being one of them. When we go through that article, throwing is super important. Hoover ball. Hoover ball with the medicine ball. If you don't know what I'm talking about, come to the next Fortem Park night. It's a lot of fun. And sports is fun. It's just an expression of the fitness you build, and you'll realize that when you're fit, sports is easier. We played a ultimate frisbee game one time at Aiden's. I don't know if it was
yeah,
his birthday or something like that, and we
no, it
played
was
with a
a
bunch of people
Thanksgiving thing.
who, Thanksgiving, and
Yeah.
we played with a bunch of people who don't work out basically, and it's just really fun to just run circles around
I
people.
was gonna bring that. I was gonna bring that example up as well, but I was like, it's probably gonna sound cocky. But now that you brought it up, I can talk about it. Yeah, like like a lot of people are like get down on themselves, like in CrossFit, like, oh, I'm not as fit as this person, or whatever, right? But if you go play ultimate frisbee and you run for 5 seconds and have to stop because the game is delayed because the frisbee dropped or the other team has the frisbee now, you'll find out how actually fit you are compared to normal people in the world. Because when we were playing, dude, people were throwing up, going pale in the face, and I'm like, dude, we ran 200 meters, like we didn't run that far, you know.
Yes.
So yeah, go play a sport and just like see how fit you actually are, because you'll probably be actually surprised with your ability. You know, you're like, oh wow, I can keep up way more than I thought I can.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
have fun. Have fun. It's fun.
It's good motivation. Also, just keep staying fit. If you have a sport that you really love, like if you love playing basketball or soccer or whatever, like it's good motivation to keep you consistent at the gym. Like it benefits your sport.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a journey. That was a journey. We wrapped it with the sports, the tip of the pyramid. Yeah, fun talking about this with you guys. We'll keep diving into these things with the sickness, wellness, fitness continuum, all sorts of core tenets of CrossFit that people got to know about.
Yes. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hopping on, Aiden.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man.
Definitely got to get you on for the next ones too. You bring good knowledge.
That's right.
All right, share this, like it, share it on social. We want to reach as many people as possible. I think it's super important that we do these, listen to them, and just put these things into practice. Talk about them with people. Talk with your coach about it when you come to the gym. Talk about the episode you just listened to. So thank you guys. Catch us on the next one. See ya.
3,